Okay, you caught your spotty now. I'm gonna share a few tips on how to measure one of these feisty little guys. So the best way to pick up a spotty is underneath by the belly. They're really kind of pokey, but this is the best way to hold them. All the stuff that's gonna poke you is on the side and also on the top right here. If you look at these spines right here, they'll poke you. Each one of these has almost like a needle at the end of it. And then right behind the gill here, there's a few little pokers too, right behind the gills. And then right in front of the gills right here, these right here are like knives, they'll cut you. So this fish is looking at me, I'm holding it, I'm trying to calm her down. So hold her gently, hold her from underneath, and then just set her on the bump board. She's gonna flop around probably a little bit, but try to let her calm down. Just gently touch her with your fingertips. It's gonna try to, and you want the fish facing this direction. So we'll let her calm down for a second here. And then once she's calmed down a little bit, see how she's flattening out? So let her calm down a little bit. And usually when they freak out is when you go to and put your hand in. They see a hand coming in and they twist up and they freak out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my hand in here and watch, she'll probably freak out. Just like that. So you've gotta just give them have a little patience, give them a little bit of time here. So I'm just barely touching her, trying not to injure her. You don't want to put your fingers in here. These are the gills. You can give them infection by touching that, or injure them by touching into their gills. So you don't want to touch those. But I'm just going to lay my hand down her nice and gently. I'm not pressing very hard. She's starting to relax a little. Nope, she's not ready. So just keep trying. Sometimes this is a little bit of a process. Now she's starting to calm down a little bit. Nope. These young ones, these little 12 and 13 inchers, they can take a little while to get them to calm down. So let her rest, and I'm not touching her hard. I'm not pushing hard or anything. That just makes them stiffen up. So you want to make sure that the fish is facing this direction with its mouth totally against the bump board here. And the reason I'm holding this with my pinky underneath its mouth is to keep that mouth shut. If the mouth is open just the slightest bit, that is a 1-inch deduction. So you want to make sure that's probably the most deductions given is on that. You want to make sure that your tail is not pinched like this. It's got to be wider than this portion of the fish. So fan it out a little bit, and with your tail, spend some time. It's all the way to this point right here. So you can see this fish right here is a 13.25 inch fish. And once I've got its tail, the maximum length I can get, which it's just about the 13.75, but because it's not making that, it's gonna be a 13.5. When you're manipulating your tail too, try to get it to touch one of the lines or come close to the line. If it's out here in the middle of no man's land, oh look, if I just kind of move this tail around a little bit, I can almost get her to the 13.75. So you want the mouth to be shown too. Don't cover it up. You want to be able to see the whole fish. You can't cover it like this. You can't put your hand across it. Make sure you can see the eye. Now that you've got your fish laid out, almost a 13.75 here. Tail's fan, mouth shut. Now you take 1, 2 pictures. Make sure the pictures are good. If you're going for a side pot, make sure that the sponsor's bait is in the picture, the bait you used. Most importantly too, make sure your code is in the picture. At the beginning of your session, you're gonna be given a code to, let me go ahead and release this fish. Thanks, girl. Now go ahead and get bigger. But you're gonna be given a code at the beginning of your session that you're gonna either put on a card or write it on your bump board, or I like to write it right on my hand because that's what I use to hold the fish. But the code has to be in the picture. And then you're gonna submit this photo to Discord. So one other thing is, when you first get these bump boards, they're totally naked. They have none of these marks on them. Take your Sharpie and go ahead and make darken all these marks right here. It's a little easier to read on the picture. This bump board is filthy. I've been using it all day, so make sure your bump board is clean before you use it. Before the spotty bowl season starts, I'll have this thing all polished up and cleaned up. But there's a few tips on how to measure a spotty.